Why weren't you at the game tonight, Johnny? Well, you know, tickets aren't cheap, even for a team like ours that is near the bottom of the league standings. This is the second trip, after all, to Vancouver this year for the Preds. Oh, okay, that makes sense. And, well, there's also the issue of me looking for a new place for us to live. Wait, what? You ever just want to get down on one knee and thank the hockey gods upstairs that Phil Forsberg is a Nashville Predator? Hey everybody, it's Jersey Guy. Hold my beer. Are you sure you want me here? Hat trick watch, anybody? Is it really somewhere that we owe a massive debt to the hockey gods? Again and again and again. You're like a kid again, Johnny. Is this happening? Is this happening? This isn't an ad for some dang cookie. I want a piece of that action. Well, you don't have to tell me twice. What do you have to tell me that is going to make me feel positive? And maybe the Titans won't let us down on Thursday. Preds, walk it off! Okay, on with Johnny's reaction video.
Redemption take you home.
Everybody's hands go up, way up. Oh my God. Here I am thinking that it was going to be a complete disaster of a road trip as the Preds go into Vancouver on Friday night and defeat the Vancouver Canucks by a final score of 3-0 inside Rogers Arena. Stamkos gets his third goal of the season in 2 games versus the Canucks. UC Saros with his 4th shutout of the season, making 27 saves. And, well, a lesser known stat that I like that the Preds are finally going to get off of their back. Their 12th win of the season. Yes, it shouldn't have taken this long to get to that point. Now has them 2 wins shy of 1,000 for a franchise. Well, I guess when you really think about it, you can say that the Preds are undefeated in the year 2025, the year of our Lord. Preds would be without Zachary Heroux in this game and the next 2 games as he got suspended 3 games for his slew foot on Jared Spurgeon. Preds with some roster news leading up to this game that was a result of the suspension. Fedor Svechkov was recalled back up from Milwaukee. Ozzy Westblatt made his NHL debut in this game. He had family in attendance. And finally, after his long-awaited absence, Spencer Stastny is back up with the Predators due to an injury to Thatcher Demko being hurt last night in Seattle. The Canucks playing the second half of a back-to-back. The Preds on 2 full days rest coming into this game, meaning that it would be a rematch of the November tilt between these 2 teams of UC Saros versus his backup of Kevin Lankinen in net for the Canucks. 13 seconds into the second period, Canucks think they've opened the scoring, but the goal is waved off as Teddy Bluger pushes Nick Blankenberg into his own goalie, UC Saros, so that's called for goalie interference, and this game remains scoreless. A little bit later, Preds fail to score as Roman Josi sets up to Nyquist perfectly to tap it home and open the scoring. And he wouldn't score there, but maybe a little later on he can finally shake off the cobwebs that are surrounding him right now. The goaltending battle between these 2 former teammates is picking up in a period that the Canucks massively outshot the Preds in 10-3, but the Preds were getting quality shots on Lankinen in the Canucks net. And finally, late in the second period, somebody who I saw score twice in person would show up big for the Preds. Preds on the attack, just over 3 minutes left to go in the second period. You've got the Preds' #1 line finally cashing in as there's some give and go. Stamkos gives it to Marchessault. Marchessault back to Stamkos, and on the goalie, he scored twice in November. He 1 times it past Lankinen. Finally, the Preds break through, and they have a 1-0 lead. And I don't know if he made the TV on FanDuel Sports, but friend of the channel, Ben McGreevy, made Sportsnet as he was at this game in person. So props to him for making the trip, and shout out for getting on TV. Period finally winds down. Preds under some duress, but they don't seem like they're exhausted from the overwork by the Canucks, and they're being outshot 20-13 after 40 minutes, but they lead where it counts, 1-0 on the scoreboard. Much more even third period to try and nestle this game home to a victory. 8-7 on the shot clock for the Canucks over the Preds. Preds would be forced to kill off 2 Canucks power plays in that final period. They killed off Philip Forsberg's holding penalty. My God, that guy's still on a goal drought. And after he got stopped on a clean-cut breakaway by Lankinen making a toe save on him, Luke Evangelista had to serve a high sticking call on former Pred, even though I think he only played like 3 games back in the day, Phil Giuseppe, who I even thought that, was it him knocking Evangelista's stick into his own face? Regardless, the Preds killed that penalty off. They killed off all 3 Vancouver Canucks power plays, and a penalty kill that had fallen to 5th in the league went perfect, and perhaps they can climb back up that top 5 list of the league's best penalty kills. Rick Tocchet elects to pull Kevin Lankinen from the Canucks net with about 2.5 minutes left to go in the third period. Quite a bit of time for only trailing by 1, but despite some solid zone time by the Canucks, Preds defend well. And finally, with the empty net on the other side, Gustav Nyquist, his 7th goal of the season, his first goal in 19 games. Hey, help Phil Forsberg get off the schneid and maybe pot an empty netter, Gus. But good, you're getting rolling. And then the hometown boy from the North Shore of Vancouver, for good measure, into the empty net as well. Colton Sisson's 4th goal of the season puts this one to bed. UC Saros gets his 4th shutout of the season. Preds win the game 3-0. It shouldn't have taken until 2025 to get their 12th win of the season. Hey, the Preds are unbeaten in a new year. Preds finally shake off whatever has been troubling them, if just for one night, by snapping their 3-game losing streak. They win a game for the first time in 11 days when they beat Carolina back at home, when I thought that maybe they would go winless on this road trip. But by beating the Canucks in this game, having already defeated them in November, they ensure that no matter what happens at the end of the month, January 29th in Bridgestone, when they play the Canucks, hence one day before my birthday, boys, wink, wink, that no matter what happens in that game, after losing all 3 games last season versus the Canucks, the Preds have finally won the season series against the Canucks for the first time in a bit. Yes, I know. The Canucks didn't have Demko in this game. They didn't have Quinn Hughes in this game. He's injured. They didn't have Elias Pettersson, who's also injured. Well, the shoe has been on the other foot, so I will completely enjoy the fact that the Preds won in my city. Even though I wasn't there at the game, I did watch it from beginning to end, and I am very proud that I can go into work tomorrow. Heck, yeah, I know they only have 12 wins in the season, and it's the year 2025. But they haven't lost to the Canucks this season, so I'm very content. Now, let's see if they can salvage this road trip. Maybe end it at 500. But to do that, they have to play the second half of a back-to-back Saturday night in Calgary. I'm assuming Justus Anuin is going to get the start in that game. And hey, back-to-back haven't been easy for some teams this year. The Canucks, for one thing, haven't won a single back-to-back this season. But maybe the Preds can do things right tomorrow. It's not that long of a flight from Vancouver to Calgary. And then if they can do that, let's see what they can do when they go back to Winnipeg on the same road trip before they go home. Oh, and lastly, before I forget, I just wanted to give a special thank you to the newest subscribers to this channel. I've had the biggest jump, I think, in viewership in any 4-month time from the start of a season. Yeah, I know it's probably due in part to the fact that the Preds suck right now, but I will take those subs to get me jacked up closer and closer to 1,000 eventually, so I can make money off of my content. So that is it for this video. Thank you very much for watching. As always, click a like if you like this video. Click subscribe if you really like it. You can find my social media and interact with me during every Preds game or any Preds news that breaks by clicking on the channel name. Tell all your friends about Predemption and tell them to subscribe to my channel. And I'm not going to mention his name, but I know a certain goalie is having a good time down in the Bay Area, but I still don't regret keeping Use over him.